Hey there everybody, Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. We're back to 1976. It's New York at Boston. And the Yanks are doing extremely well. They are 31-9. The Red Sox are at 16-24. The Yanks are pretty much running away with the AL East. What can I say? So the Yanks are at Fenway Park, and let's look at the lineups for the Yankees. It's Mickey Rivers, the center fielder. Leading off, Roy White in left field, batting second. Batting third is Thurman Munson, the catcher. Cleanup is Chris Chambliss, the first baseman. Carlos Mays, the DH. Greg Nettles at third base, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Oscar Gamble in right field. Eighth is Willie Randolph, the second baseman. Picked up a great pickup from the Pittsburgh Pirates for practically nothing, along with Doc Ellis. And then it's Jim Mason, the shortstop. I believe Mason played with the Texas Rangers early on, I believe. Hunter against Jenkins in this game, so I decided to record it. And Catfish Hunter doing well in the replay overall. And we'll look at Jenkins is 4-5 with a 3.96 ERA. We'll write that in. 4-5, 3.96 ERA. And let's get started, and when we get to Boston, we'll go over their lineups as well. So let's do the first three innings. Remember, I'm using what are called double D6s, and there are 2 6s on each die, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, and so forth. And then, of course, the D20. This is Fall Classic Baseball, very quick and easy to play. If you're an APBA player or a Strat-O-matic player, you'll enjoy this game. It's got a little bit more of the depth that those games, the basic, it plays like a basic game, but it has the depth of an advanced game. 44, that's going to be lined. Mickey Rivers, who is batting, he's having an amazing first half of the season so far. 146 at bats, he's batting 397. He singles here, lines one to right, and that's going to give him a stolen base chance because you get the little plus sign. An 18 is going to be a pickoff opportunity. And Jenkins is an average arm, and he's a righty with an average arm. We're looking at a 1-4, and he gets picked off, and we roll a 4. He gets picked off. So it's 1-3. Jenkins throws over, and he's tagged out by Stremski. I'll go over the defense for the Red Sox. It's in the infield, it's Petrucelli at third, Burlson the shortstop, Doyle the second baseman, Yaz at first, and then of course it's Montgomery filling in for Carlton Fisk behind the plate. From left to right, you got Rick Miller, Fred Lynn, and Dwight Evans. So 1 on and 1 out. I'm going to make a little space here so we can put these cards. I'll be playing some Status Pro later on today, so track that. Roy White is up. That's a 44, another 44, and that's a ground ball hit hard up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. So back-to-back singles here off Jenkins. But this does not have a plus sign, so there's no stolen bases. He didn't steal that many bases compared to Rivers that season. So Munson with a runner at first, and we're just going to swing away. We want to take away his power. 32, that's an out, popped up. That's right near the plate, and it's in fair territory, and Montgomery flips his mask away and makes the catch. 2 down, excuse me. Here's Chris Chambliss. Chambliss is batting 251, and that's a 41, which will be ball 4. So he walks. Now, Jenkins is a B pitcher, whereas Hunter is a C pitcher, so that'll be interesting today. That's their C stuff and their B stuff. So now we got first and second for the Yanks. Carlos May, the batter. Carlos May was acquired from the White Sox. This is 1976. Where were you in 1976? I know where I was. And that's a 35, and that's going to be a fly ball left field. Rick Miller. And that retires the side. The Yanks pick up a couple, no runs, but a couple of hits, collect a couple of hits, and we move to the bottom of the first. Let's go over the lineups for the Red Sox. Rick Miller in left field, leading off. Doyle, second baseman, batting second. Fred Lynn, the center fielder, batting third. Cleanup is Stremski, first baseman. Jim Rice, the DH, batting fifth. Dwight Evans, Dewey Evans in right field, batting 6th. Batting 7th is Rico Petrucelli, the third baseman. Rick Burlson, the shortstop, batting 8th. And Bob Montgomery, the catcher, batting 9th. Of course, on the mound for the Yankees, it's Catfish Hunter. On the mound for the Red Sox is Jenkins. Catfish Hunter has a 6-1 record, and his ERA is 3.27. And here's a pitch to Rick Miller, and that's going to be a 16, which will be a strikeout. So Miller chases a curveball, and he goes down on strikes for the first out for the Red Sox. Here's Denny Doyle, not a great hitter, but he's going to hit one hard here, and it's going to get through into right field for a base hit single. So Doyle on with a single. And up comes Fred Lynn, always dangerous Fred Lynn. Here's a pitch from Catfish, another 33, and that's going to be another single. We're going to pull a card that says it sends the runner to third. An F or A runner will go to third, and I believe Doyle is at least an A. Yeah, he's an F, so he goes to third. First and third now. So he hits one hard, rips one to right, played on a hop by Gamble. Gamble gets it into Randolph, and heading over to third is Doyle. We got first and third now, here in the bottom of the first at Fenway. Up comes Stremski. Yanks are playing back. They're willing to give up a run early in the game. That's how I play it. Looking for the double play. Let's see if we get it. A 54. That's going to be a 54 chart. Call with men on base. It's an 18. Catfish goes, his wild pitch goes up to 8. So he has a lot. He doesn't throw a lot of wild pitches. So that's going to be a ball that's blocked by Munson. Now this game also has home field advantage worked into it, which is very cool. I had a home field advantage in my last game, where it was interference by the catcher if you're away. But if you're home, they won't call interference on, oh, I'm sorry, not on the catcher, but on a fan. So if you're at home, you won't get that call. But if you're the away team, the home team gets the call and the away team won't get the call, is what I'm trying to say. So the home, it favors the home team on an interference call in the stands, which is kind of cool. All right. So, Stremski's up. Let's do that. That's a 14. Double play. It's hit hard right at the shortstop. Mason flips to Randolph. The throw to Chambliss, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. Just what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. Works out perfectly. All right, so no runs, 2 hits, 1 left. And we go to the top of the second inning. Here is Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles batting .233 with 9 home runs. And it's a 41. That should be a base on balls, and it is. So it takes ball 4, and Nettles heads down to first base. Here next is Oscar Gamble. Good power, but hasn't really gotten hot yet. 62, and that'll be struck him out. Gamble swings and misses, going for the fences. Here comes Willie Randolph. That's a 13, and that'll be lined to center field. Lynn doesn't have to move. 2 out, and here is Jim Mason. Mason steps into the box. He bats from the left side. Pitch from Jenkins, and that's going to be a 12, and that's lined and caught by the first baseman to retire the side. So no runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. And we move to the bottom of the second. Fenway Park, 1976. Jim Rice leading off. Jim Rice batted .282 in a full season with 25 home runs. So having a good season. That's a 15. He struck him out and chases slider away. And he heads back to the bench. 1 out here for Dwight Evans now. Dwight Evans with a .242 average and 17 home runs. And that's a 31. That's bounced up the middle and through in center field for a base hit. So seeing eye single for Dwight Evans. And here's Rico Petrucelli. Petrucelli batted .213 with 3 home runs in half a season. So, but here we roll a 33, and that'll be ball 4, and that's going to push Evans into second base. Got runners on first and second. I'm starting to get a little bit of an itch to play a modern game. I'm going to have the modern teams for this set. So I'm going to grab a couple of modern teams and maybe play a modern game somewhere. Rick Burlson Remember to join Universal Baseball Association on Facebook. A lot of great content there. You really like that site, I promise. And here's Burlson with runners on first and second. He's a right-handed hitter. Burlson batted .291. The Rooster, he was known as. Here's Catfish Hunter. And that's another 31. So Catfish is not getting the rolls right now. That's going to be a base hit. A little check swing. And that's a Texas leaguer that dunks in there in front of the center fielder. And everybody's going to hold. So the bases are loaded. They have to wait to see if it was going to drop or not. So bases are loaded. Here comes Bob Montgomery. Again, the Yanks are looking for that double play. See if we can get one. So Bob Montgomery, he's a part-time guy, 93 at-bats, 31 games, 247 hitter, 3 home runs, so he's got a little bit of power. Had he played the 500 at-bats, he would have about 15 home runs, not too bad. So here's the pitch from Catfish. See if we can keep the ball down and induce a ground ball so we can get a double play out of this. And that's going to be a 35, and a 35 is going to be a base hit, so it's not going to happen. Pulls one down the line, and we're on second. There's going to be a play at the plate. So White. So scoring is Evans, 1-0 Boston, but they're waving Petrucelli around, and there's going to be a play at the plate here. So let's see what Roy White has he's a 1 or a 2, and he's out at the plate. Otherwise, here's the throw from White, and Petrucelli slides the tag from Munson. He is out. They got him. So 1 run scores. RBI there. Other run is out. 7-2. And now we got second and third. He drove in number 6 there. All right, there you go. And now here comes Rick Miller. So it's going to be a single, 1 scores, and the other one is out at home on a great throw by Roy White. It goes 7-2. And here comes Rick Miller. 2 outs now. Runners on second and third. Now Miller batted .283. And Denny Doyle batted .250. We're going to pitch to Miller. Let's see if we can get a good roll, because we've had nothing but bad rolls for Catfish. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be, another bad roll. This will be a walk. That's going to load the bases, but no harm done. We just need to get Doyle now to get out of this inning. 2 outs, bases loaded. And it's Denny Doyle, .250 hitter with no home runs. Not a lot of power, but he's a pesky type. He's a pesky sort. Here's a pitch from Catfish, checks in with Munson for the sign. Likes what he sees, and puts one down the pike. And that's going to be a 52, which is a potential error check, but that 13 is really high. Yanks have a good defense. That's third baseman Nettles. He picks it up, and that'll be an unassisted. We'll call that a fielder's choice, and we'll say that's a 5U, and that will retire the side. But 1 run scores, so on 3 hits, Hunter avoids more damage, so that's a pretty good outcome for the Yanks there. It will be a 5U, ball hit to Nettles, and he steps on the bag, and that will retire the side. So there was no error because it was too high. Nettles goes up to like a 7, I think it is. All right, so top of the third, it's 1-0 Boston. You can see that on your screen, and it's going to be Rivers, White, and Munson. Rivers is batting .401, by the way. And when is this game played? Let's see. It's 31st, May 31st. So he's 2 months. He's still batting .400. Of course, that's going to change. We know that, right? Nobody bats .400, 14. And that is bounce to the first baseman. Stremski handles it easily. Steps on the bag ahead of the speedy Rivers. So he slaps one, pulls one right to Yaz, and 1 away. Here's Roy White. He's singled from his first at bat. Roy White's been on a tear, batting .327 now. That's a 13 on White's car, and that'll be bounced to second base. Doyle over to Yastrzemski, out number 2. And next up is Thurman Munson. Munson popped up. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 54, and we're going to have to check the chart for that. It says an error check on the right field at a 20 is way too high. That'll be a ball that Dwight Evans makes a catch on. No runs, no hits, none left. We move to the bottom of the third. Yeah, Dewey Evans is I don't have his chart like that. Let me see what the chart is. Boston chart. You got a defensive chart for everybody, so you don't have to worry about looking at the cards. He has a 2 error rating, so it doesn't make a lot of errors. All right, the bottom of the third, Catfish Hunter is going to face Lynn, who singled. Then you have Stremski and Rice. Here's the pitch. That's a 46 and a 15 at. So this is going to be a ballpark. A 46 is a ballpark card, so you do have ballpark effects. And he is a lefty, and a 15 against a lefty is going to be a foul out. And over there is Nettles near the stands, and Nettles comes up with it. Good play by Greg Nettles. Stuck with it, did not give up, and made the catch in foul territory. So that's 1 out. Kari Stremski is coming up now. Kari Stremski in our season replay is batting 292 with 7 home runs. In reality, he batted 267 with 21 home runs, so he's about where he should be. That goes up and down, of course, with the dice. Here's Stremski, the pitch from Catfish at 23, and it's a fly ball left field. So Stremski drives one to the opposite field between White and Rivers, and it's White who makes the catch. Jim Rice steps to the plate. He struck out in his first at bat and second. Here he is again, and that's a 46. And that's going to be a ballpark call, and that's going to be a ball pulled down the line. It's left field corner, and that is a foul ball. Went foul the last minute. So it's a 46 and a 14 against a righty is a foul ball. Okay, so let's try it again. And that's a 15, which will be a strikeout to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Catfish. All right, and here is Thurman Munson. No, actually it's Chris Chambliss leading off the top of the fourth. Chambliss, May, and Nettles. Chambliss is a lefty hitter. He's batting 251. He walked in his last at bat, and he's going to 42. That's going to be a fly ball center field. Lynn under it. 1 away. Here comes Carlos May. Carlos May's doing well, 341 hitter and 82 at bats. That's a 61, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes, 2 down. Greg Nettles up next with a 26 against a righty. That's going to be line base hit right field. Nettles with a single. So he walked in. He's been on base twice today. He's on at first. Oscar Gamble's next. Good power. Let's see. We didn't roll. It's a 52. That's going to be an error check against the third baseman. Third baseman is Petrucelli. Petro at third base is a 4 error, so he'll make the play. 5-4. Fielder's choice, and that retires the side, so no runs. 1 hit, 1 left. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Evans, Petrucelli, and Burlson due up. Evans 1 for 1 with a run scored. 1-0 Boston. Bottom of the 4th. Here's a pitch from Catfish. That's a 55, and that is a drive down the line. That's going to be a fair ball into the corner. Played by... Oh, he's a righty. Played by... I thought for some reason he was a lefty. Played by White, and he gets into second base standing with a leadoff double. Petrucelli's up next. Pitch from Hunter at 26, and against a lefty it's a single. Otherwise it's a bouncer to second base. It's Randolph. But runner moves to third. Here's Rick Burlson now with a runner on third. Yankees going to play the infield in just because there's a runner on third. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 16 and an 18. That's going to be a 16. An 18 is going to be an out. It's going to be a fly ball center field. And with a runner on third, he will tag up. He will tag up, and here's the throw, and he is safe on a sac fly. So an RBI for Burlson, and scoring is Evans. 2 outs. Nobody on now, and it's Bob Montgomery. Montgomery singled and drove in a runner earlier in the game. Singled with the bases loaded. And Petrucelli was thrown out at the plate. That's a 21, and he swings and misses at a curveball and strikes out to end the inning. 1 run on 1 hit. We go to the top of the 5th. It's 2-0 Boston. Willie Randolph leading it off here in the top of the 5th inning. Pitch from Jenkins is going to be a ballpark card 18. He's going to rip one into left center field, and Randolph is going to try for 2. Let's see if he gets there. Center fielder Lynn is a 5. Here's the throw to second base, and he is out. So a single and an 8 to, I'd say 8. He's a lefty, so 8 to 4, and that's 1 out. So it's a single, and he's thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. Jim Mason now with 1 out. And that's a 42, and a 42 will be a bouncer to second. Doyle over to Stremski. 2 down. And it's Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers 1 for 2 today. That's a 62, and that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left, and we move to the bottom of the 5th. It's going to be the top of the order. Miller leading off here against Hunter. So Hunter doesn't have his best stuff, but he's still holding his own, but gives up a walk here. Miller's on at first. And that's the 2nd time Miller's walked. We get a bunt from Doyle, and it's a good bunt. Right back to Hunter. He's got 1 play. Got a runner in scoring position now. It's 1-4. Hunter over to Randolph covering. And Fred Lynn is up. Pitch to Lynn, and it's a 64, and that'll be a fly ball to right field. And that's a 9, and that'll be, he'll hold at second base, shallow right field. They're not going to test Gamble's arm. And here comes Stremski. Say 25, and that'll be a bouncer to second. Randolph corrals it over to first, and that retires the side. So Randolph to Chambliss. No runs, no hits, 1 left, a walk. We move to the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 Boston. Got a pretty good game going here. Roy White's leading off. Roy White, Munson, and Chambliss. 1976 Yankees. They made it to the World Series. Just could not handle the big red machine. And that's bounced to the first baseman. Stremski takes it himself. 1 down. Hit it off the end of the bat and slow roller at first. Munson is up next, and he's going to rip one. And it's going to be cut off for a single, and Munson's going to try to take an extra steal. He's going to try to steal on the next play, and there he goes, and he is safe on a stolen base. So Munson, a single and a stolen base. Throw down from Montgomery, not in time. Now let's see, that's Munson's, he stole 14 bases in 76. That's Munson's 5th steal here. So he's in scoring position. Chambliss up next. Pitch from Jenkins is a 22, and that's line base hit. Let's see if Munson can score. And Munson, F will advance, and Munson is an F. And he will come around to score. F doesn't mean fast, it just means that you scored plenty of runs. And he will score. That's an RBI for Chambliss. And it's a 2-1 ball game. May is next. Here's a pitch to Carlos May, a 44, and that's line base hit. Ripped to right, down the line. Evans cuts it off quickly, and Chambliss not an F, so he'll stop at second base. They weren't going to challenge Dewey's arm. So the Yanks are heating up a little bit. Their bats are heating up a little bit. They got 3 consecutive singles against Jenkins. And here comes Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles can change the game very quickly with one swing of the bat. He hit 32 home runs. He's one of the league leaders that season. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 61, which will be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. So swinging for the fences, he flails at one and strikes out. And here is bases first and second, and here's Oscar Gamble, another one with good power. And that's going to be a deep drive off the bat of Gamble to right field, and that's a second decker. That ball's gone. 3-run shot. The Yankees have taken a 4-2 lead. Oscar Gamble connects. Once he hit that, you could hear the sound of that. That was gone. And that's a 4-5, and so 3 RBIs for Gamble. 3-run shot. Yankees are up 4-2. And Montgomery's going to go out to talk to Jenkins after that, because Jenkins was under control here. Had only given up basically 4 singles in 5 innings. And he's given up 3 singles here and a 3-run home run. There's 2 outs, and here comes Willie Randolph. And that's going to be a 54. We're going to have to check a 54 on that. Goes to Wilder chart. Let's go to the next chart. And it's going to be a foul pop-up down the line. Going to roll to see. Well, we already rolled. We got the 5. Foul pop-up. Now left field line. That's Miller. Let's see how many errors Miller has over there. And that's going to go foul. But no, they're going to charge Miller with an error. And Willie Randolph is going to bat again. So they're going to charge Miller with an error and in foul ground. But so top of the 6th. And it's Willie Randolph again. All right, here goes. And that's going to be a 55. That's going to be line base hit. And there goes Randolph. Throw down from Montgomery, not in time. And we're going to check for an error on the catcher. And nope. So it's a single and then a stolen base. And now it's a light hitting Mason. So we're going to let Jenkins face him. If he doesn't get him, he can get pulled. Here's the pitch to Mason. That's a 46, a ballpark. He's a lefty. And that's going to be a foul ball. Pull down the line and foul. Again, here's Jenkins to Mason. Jim Mason doesn't hit a lick. 55, that's going to be strikeout, strike 3. All right, so that's going to be 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Big 6th inning for the Yanks. They come back and they take the lead. Never going to count this team out. They definitely have a way of doing this. They got a lot of guys that can hit, 20 home runs in this lineup. They got Munson, they got Chambliss, they got Gamble, so they got a bunch of, they got Nettles with double that, so they got a little power. So let's see, Jim Rice leading off here at the bottom of the 6th inning. And that's going to be a 12, which is a fly ball, center field. Mickey Rivers drifts under it, squeezes it for the out, 1 down. And Hunter winds and deals to Dewey Evans, who's 2 for 2, a single and a double. And here's an error check, and that will not be a strikeout, maybe an error. It's going to be a bouncing ball to Randolph at second, and Randolph boots it. So it's going to be an E4. Is that a 2-base error? No, Randolph picks it up and throws over Chambliss's head. So going to second is going to be Evans. It's a 2-base error. So he bobbled it, dropped it, picked it up, threw over Chambliss's head, and Evans was able, into the dugout. The ball rolled into the dugout, and Evans was able to hit over to second base. So it's it's a 2-base error on the second baseman, Randolph. Here's Rico Petrucelli. Petrucelli is 0 for 1 with a walk. Here's a pitch from Catfish, and that's a 26 against a lefty. It's a single, otherwise it's a fly ball. Center field on the run is Rivers, and Rivers comes up with it. Heading back to first, back to second is Evans. Rick Burlson up next. Pitch to Burlson. It's a 35, and a 35 is going to be bouncing ball up the middle and through into center field. Let's see if the run will score. And a W arm and right. Gamble's arm and right. So it's up the middle, but Gamble plays it to this. And he's an A, so they can risk. Evans can risk against an A arm. It'll be 1, 2, 3. He is out at the plate. 4, 5, 6. He is safe. Let's do it. Here's the throw to the plate, and he is safe. So it's a single. Runner will go to second on the throw. He scores. It's an RBI for Burlson. Single. Scores. Batter to second on the throw home. And here's Bob Montgomery. So it's 4-3 now. So they risked it and it paid off. So that's how you can make your coaching decisions. You always have that opportunity. Sometimes it's automatic. Sometimes you get the opportunity. So in other words, sometimes it's the players making the decision, and sometimes you can make that decision because sometimes the players just kind of do what they feel. And what can you do as a coach, right? That's a 56, and he swings and misses at a Hunter curveball, and he goes down on strikes. That's the second time Hunter's gotten Montgomery on strikes. But one run comes in, an unearned run on one hit, and we go to the top of the 7th. Pretty good game here in the top of the 7th. 4-3 Yankees. The Yankees came up with 4 big runs in the top of the 6th inning. And the big hit was the 3-run home run by Oscar Gamble, and that was Oscar Gamble's 5th home run of the season. Let's write that in. I like to write that in because later when I do the write-up, it's already there for me. It's 5th home run of the season. Looks like 6, but all right, leading off is Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers is 1 for 3 today. Got up over 400, but then I think he dropped down again. Yeah, he's 396. Very hard to keep that up. It's going to be a 62, and this is going to be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. Struck him out for the 2nd time. Here comes Roy White now. Roy White's 1 for 3. That's going to be a 16, and it's going to be a fly ball left field. So Roy White punches it to the left side, and Rick Miller and Fred Lynn coming in, and it's Miller comes up with it. It's 2 down. Fergie Jenkins on the mound for the Red Sox. He's got a 4.08 ERA. He's 4-5, but he's got a good whip. So he's been giving up. This is, by the way, this is the PC replay game that's keeping those stats. But so really, the point, one point that I recognize is that no, you're never going to get exact. It's going to be more or less close. But he's got a 1.1 whip. In reality, he had a 1.1 whip. And he's right there. So he's got a low whip, but it seems that he gives up. Of course, at Fenway Park, you're always going to, give up more runs. The ERA is never going to be good. You may have pitched very well, but I don't know how Louis Tiant managed it, though. Here is Thurman Munson. 2 out, nobody on, and that's going to be a 16, which will be a bouncer to short. Burlson charges it, fires the first. Stremski with the scoop. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. All right, it's going to be Rick Miller next, leading off here. Catfish Hunter. So 16, and that's going to be a line drive caught by the shortstop Mason. So it's ripped, but Mason goes up, brings it back down. 1 down. Denny Doyle is next, left-handed hitter. That's a snake eyes, and that's going to be a bouncer to first base. And it'll be Chambliss flips to Catfish covering 3-1. Here comes Fred Lynn. Fred Lynn, a lefty batter. He's 1 for 3 today. In the replay, I didn't do that correctly. Hold on a second. I gotta get the L6, and then the 3-1. Gotta watch out. And now Lynn batting 400. Another batter was batting 400 in the replay. But again, the Fall Classic doesn't do those stats. That's PC replay. But he was a 3-14 hitter. Here's a pitch from Catfish, and that's going to be a 21. And it's bounced to first base. Again, it's Chambliss to Hunter covering. And that retires the side. So 3 up and 3 down. Top of the 8th coming up for the Yanks. Chambliss, May, and Nettles. Jenkins, let's see how he's doing in terms of, he can still go. He can go 34 batters faced, and Hunter go 37. So these are the type of guys that would pitch the whole game. So here's Jenkins, winds and deals, and that's going to be a 34. That's going to be bounced up the middle and through for a base hit for second hit for Chambliss today. Bounces one up the middle, gets through past the diving attempt by Doyle. And Chambliss is on at first. Here's Carlos May with a 41, and that's going to be ball 4. And that's going to be all for Jenkins. All right, so it's Jim Willoughby who comes in. Willoughby on the season has a 1.82 ERA. He's their main closer type. Got 24 innings pitched. And he's going to be facing some lefties. The Red Sox don't have a lot of lefties in their bullpen to bring in, so I had to bring in a righty. But this is one of their top relievers, and he's going to be facing Greg Nettles now with runners on first and second. And don't expect Nettles to bunt, because he's not going to bunt. Here's the pitch from Willoughby. Willoughby has his B stuff, by the way. That's going to be an out. That's going to be a fly ball center field. And it's going to be shallow center. Lynn is there for out number 1. So Nettles pops one high into center field. Backing up is Burlson and Doyle, and Lynn comes in, makes the catch, and here's Oscar Gamble now. Gamble with a 3-run homer. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 64, which will be B stuff. It's going to be a ground ball. And that'll be a ground ball to second base. Both runners will advance. Bounce to Doyle, 1 play, and that's the first. So when both runners move up, second and third. If we intentionally walk Randolph here, they're going to pinch hit for Mason. So I'm just going to, the runners on second and third with 2 outs. I'm just going to face Randolph, although Randolph's batting .295 and he's got 10 stolen bases, 3 home runs. So he's really been a welcome addition to this Yankee infield here. He was picked up from the Pirates for Doc Medich, I believe. They picked up Doc Ellis, who wins, I think, 17, 18 games for the Yanks, and they pick up Willie Randolph, plays the whole season, and just contributes immensely for a guy that really was useless, Doc Medich. All right, here's Willie Randolph against Jim Willoughby. And that's going to be a, 53. That's going to be a range check. Range check on who? And on the third baseman. That's going to be by Petrucelli for a single. Runners will advance 2 bases. 2 runs are going to come in on this. Yes, sir. He's only a 9. So that's going to be Randolph. Pulls one down the line and past the diving Petrucelli. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Yanks now lead it 6-3. And that's 2-run single for Willie Randolph. All right, where are we? Top of the second. Who's up? Jim Mason. And Randolph with a 2-run single puts the Yanks up 6-3. And Mason doesn't hit very much, but he's going to play here. He's more of a defensive type guy. Here's the pitch to Mason. A 31, maybe a base hit, and that's going to get through the infield for a base hit into right. Randolph will, and that's going to be it for. That's going to be it for. Well, Willoughby, Jesus, he just came face 4 batters. So Randolph will hold at second base. So it's a sharply hit ball that gets through the infield, and Dwight Evans was playing shallow. So Randolph decided to hold up. Here comes Mickey Rivers now. I need Willoughby to get an out. Come on, guy. He got 2 outs, but he needs 1 more. All right, first and second. Here's a pitch to Rivers, 64, and that'll be the out we're looking for. And that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Doyle over to Stremski. 2 runs come in on 3 hits. The Yanks lead at 6-3 now. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Hunter's still pitching. Hunter can still go. He's still got batters faced. This is 1976. That's why I play it. That's why I highly recommend the old seasons. All right, let's do this. Kari Stremski versus Catfish Hunter. Catfish Hunter hasn't given up. I mean, he settled down a lot after that second inning where he gave up 3 hits and 2 walks. Since then, he's only given up 3 hits and 1 walk. Here's a pitch. That's going to be a 22. Yastrzemski with ball 4. So we spoke too soon, and Hunter walks another one. Here's Jim Rice now. 6-3. Yankees are up. Bottom of the 8th. 1 on, nobody out. Jim Rice, big power hitter for the Red Sox, and he's gonna fly one. He's gonna fly out to the opposite fields, right center field. Gamble and Rivers, and it's Gamble who takes it. So 1 out. So Hunter pitched him outside, and he went with the pitch and drove it to right center field. Here's Dewey Evans, another right-handed hitter. Catfish with a 53-17. That's going to be a range check on the right fielder. That's going to drop in there because Gamble's only at 12, and I rolled a 17, so that's higher than the 12, and it's going to be a base hit single. Runner will advance 1 base. So it's a ball that for a second there you thought that Gamble was going to get to, but then no. He pulled up at the last minute, runs on first and second. Here's Petrucelli. Petro's 0 for 2 today. Catfish to Petro, first and second, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. Petro's a tying run. Here's the pitch. Oh boy, and that is a deep drive. And Hunter's susceptible to the home run ball, and that's going to be a pitcher home run, -5. So, but Hunter's home run is very high at a 19. So you're looking at a -5 from a 19, and that's a 14, 1-14, and that's a deep drive to left field down the line, and that ball over the green monster, and that ball is out of here. Forgot where they were for a second, but they were at Yankee Stadium. And that ball's over the green monster, a 3-run homer, and this game is tied. Yikes. Rico Petrucelli, who hit 3 home runs on the season, connects off Hunter here. And the crowd goes wild. Let's listen to the crowd. Let's listen to them go wild. Wait a second. That's the best they do. All right. Wow. So everybody is. So the Yankees are in shock. Hunter's in shock. Munson's in shock. Chambliss is in shock. And they just deflated the Yankee confidence level here with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th, tying up the ball game. Yanks came up with 2 big runs in the top of the 8th, and it felt like, okay, we've got this win secured now. But no, don't count the Red Sox out of it. Here comes Rick Burlson and Hunter now. That's going to be, no, he's still in there. We're still going to hold on to Hunter. We're going to pitch him. He's got 1 out. Let's see if we get another out here. Otherwise, we'll pull him at 22. That's line. Base hit left field. Rips one. Frozen rope off the bat of Burlson. And that's going to be it for Hunter. Hunter is done. And we're going to go to Tidrow's. Tidrow's tired. Pagan is available. We're going to go to Pagan. All right. Wow. I am stunned here. We're going to roll, see what kind of stuff he has. Pagan is going to have a B stuff. So both starters have been knocked out of the ball game. And it's Pagan against Montgomery with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-6 the score. Burlson on at first. Here's the pitch to Montgomery, and that's a 13. That'll be lined and caught by first he's a righty by third base to see if a double play, and no. So L5. And Nettles threw to first base, but not in time. Rick Miller now comes up with a runner on first. 2 outs. Pitch from Pagan. That's going to be a 15, which will be a bouncer to short. Mason up with it. Flips to Randolph at second for the fielder's choice, the force. 3 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits, and it's 6-6. We go to the top of the 9th. Roy White's leading off against Willoughby in the top of the 9th inning. Here's a pitch from Willoughby. It's a 43, and that'll be a bouncer to short. Burlson charges it, fires to Stremski. 1 down. Thurman Munson up next. Munson today is 1 for 4 with a stolen base, a single, and a run scored. Pitch from Willoughby. That's a 66. That's a deep drive, and oh, it's off the top of the wall. And Munson, digging around second base, is going to try for third. And here's a throw from Lynn, and a tag from Petrucelli, and he is safe. A 1-out triple for Thurman Munson. Just missed a home run by 1 on the die roll. With 1-7, would have been out of here. Had 5 home runs on the season. Hit 17 that season. So now the infield's going to come in. The outfield's going to come in. Everybody's going to come in. And actually, it's in the. They can't bring the outfield in, but we're going to bring the infield in on this. All right, here's a pitch to Chambliss with the infield in. 23, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Strikes him out. Big strikeout for the 2nd out. So Munson triples, and then Chambliss strikes out, and here's Carlos May. Carlos May batted 280. And Nettles, who's batting next, batted 250. We're going to just pitch to Carlos May. The pitch, and that is, oh, I almost had the 66. It rolled over. And Willoughby was a B, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. And that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Now we start going up and down the column because it's already extra. Excuse me, on our way to extra innings. And it's going to be Denny Doyle leading off against Pagan. We have 16. That's bounced to first. Taken by Chambliss. 1 down. Fred Lynn, he's 1 for 4 today. Good power. It's a 35, and that's going to be bounced past the diving Chambliss into right field for a single. So 1 on, 1 out. And here's Kari Stremski. Down with the pitch, and that's a snake eyes ball 4. That's going to put the winning run at second base in scoring position. So Billy Martin's going to go out and talk to Pagan. Jim Rice is up now. We want to avoid anybody getting to third because we want to stay in double play depth. Here's the pitch. And a 65 is a pitcher home run, but only on a 1. That's a fly ball to left field, shallow left, Roy White over, and he's got it. Gets it in quickly to Mason, and everybody goes back to their base. So a high pop-up got under it. It was a pitcher home run, but Pagan doesn't give up any home runs at all. He only has a 1 there. So only on a 1 would have been a home run. And here is Dewey Evans with first and second and 2 outs. Pagan checks in with Munson, doesn't like it, and shakes him off. Now he sees something he likes, sets and deals, and that's going to be a 63-13. That is bounced to third. Nettles fires to first in time. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And we go to the top of the 10th inning. Excuse me. Now Willoughby can face 11 batters, and he's faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he can go a couple more. Here's Nettles coming up. Hate these extra innings away. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be a 32, and a 32 is bounced to second base. Doyle throws him out. Gamble now, who hit a 3-run homer early in the game, is 1 for 4. And that's a 24. That's a hit by pitch number, but it's a fly ball, center field. Lynn backing up, makes the catch. And next is Willie Randolph. With a 22, that is line base hit to left, so he rips one. That's his 4th hit of the game, by the way. Fourth single of the game for Willie Randolph. A 2-out single here in the top of the 10th inning. Puts Randolph on at first. And it's the light-hitting Jim Mason who's up. Ooh, we're going to have to give up some defense and bring in a pinch hitter. Yes, we are. Oh, but that's going to be it for Willoughby. He's done. Willoughby's done. So let's see who they bring in. All right, it's going to be Dick Pohl coming in. And Pohl will have his C stuff. All right, so we're going to set that up so he has his C stuff. That's what we got. All right, available to us right now. So Pohl is in there with his C stuff. And we're going to have a pinch hitter. Who's it going to be? Pohl throws right-handed, so we're going to see no lefties. We got Alomar, switch hitter. He's got no power. We're going to bring in Lou Piniella. Want a little bit of power. So let's grab Piniella. And then we're going to bring in Stanley to play shortstop. All right, so Pinella's in there. Pinella's got a little bit of pop in his bat. Not too much. Here's the pitch from Pohl to Piniella. Let me write them in quickly. This is the 10th inning. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 13, which will be bounced to second base. Easy play for Doyle. Throws him out. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Petrucelli leading off against Pagan. That's a 12, and that'll be right back to Pagan. Fires to first and gets him. Here's Rick Burlson with a 56, and that'll be a check swing, and they look at the first base umpire, and he rings him up, and Burlson doesn't like it. The Rooster. Not happy. 2 outs. And here's Bob Montgomery with a 65, and that's a pitcher home run, but a 1, but that's a 4. It's bounced to second base. So he got on top of it. That was a meatball down the middle, and he got on top of it and missed his pitch. And that retires the side. We'll go to the top of the 11th inning. Top of the order for the Yanks in this inning. Pitch to Rivers, and that's a 25. Bounce right back to the mound. Easy play for Pohl. And they throw out the speedy Rivers. Probably the best hitter the Yanks have. One down. Next up is Roy White. And that's a 56. It'll be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. 2 away. Thurman Munson. That's a 46, and that'll be a righty. He's a righty, so that's a 46, and that's going to be a ball that's driven in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Munson heading for second base, and he's in there with a 2-out double. Puts himself into scoring position, and that is Munson's 1-2 third hit of the game. Here's Chambliss. Chris Chambliss has 2 hits. He's 2 for 4 today. See if he can come up with another big hit here. Give the Yankees a lead. 6-6, top of the 11th. 2 out, 1 on. Yanks 6 runs, 15 hits, 1 error. Boston 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Pitch. It's a 21, and that'll be a fly ball driven in the gap, and that's Lynn on the run, and Lynn comes up with it. That retires the side. But they shook up the Red Sox there. It was pretty close. That was a drive in the gap. It looked like it would get past Lynn, but Lynn came out of nowhere. And that's the 11th now. All right, so that's going to be no runs on 1 hit, 1 left, and we move to the bottom of the 11th inning. Start putting in little 11s, 11 there, and then I put 10 here. 10, and then 11. All right. Rick Miller leading off, top of the inning. It's a pitch, it's a 56, and it's a check swing, and they look at the third base umpire this time, and he went around. And it looks like the umpires are playing for the Yankees. So 1 down. Next is Denny Doyle with a 21, and that's a fly ball center field, shallow center. Back goes Randolph and Stanley, and in comes Rivers, and he makes the call. 2 down. Next is Fred Lynn. Fred Lynn with good power, and that's going to be a 34, which will be line base hit to right. Rips 1. That's Lynn's 3rd hit of the game. He's on at first. Up comes Kari Stremski, another lefty hitter. Stremski today's walked twice. He's 0 for 3. Dave Pagan looks in to Munson. Shakes him off. Now sends 1 down the pike, and that's a 44, and that's going to be line base hit. Let's see if the runner will make it to third. F runner advances, and Lynn will be an A runner, so he will stop at second. So they played on a hop by Rivers, and Rivers gets it in quickly, and Lynn decides to hold up. He's still in scoring position for Jim Rice now. I don't want to get through. Oh, there are 2 outs, first and second. Jim Rice, the batter, against Pagan. Pagan has gone 1, 2, wait, no. Pagan has gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Pagan can go 20, 18. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 46 with a 15. He's a righty, and that is going to be foul ball, pull down the line and foul. So he ripped it, but foul. And here's Jim Rice again. Pitch from it's a 12, and that'll be a bouncer to Nettles at third, over to first, and that retires the side. 5-3. Carlos May leading off the top. The top of, all right, from the top of the 12th inning, Carlos May leading off. Score 6-6. Yanks have 6 runs on 15 hits and 1 error, and Boston with 6 runs, 13 hits and no errors. Carlos May today is 1 for 4. He singled back in the 6th inning, and he walked in the 8th, so he's contributed. And here we are at top of the 12th. It's Pole on the mound versus Pagan. That's a 63, and with a 4, that will be bounced to the second baseman. Doyle over to Yastrzemski, and that's out number 1. Here comes Greg Nettles. That's a 44, and that is lined. Oh, that's lined for a single to the right. Played on a hop by Evans, and Nettles is on at first. He's got an A as a running rating. So we got a runner on first and one out. Nettles takes his lead, and he's being held on by Yaz, who straddles the bag. Pole throws over, and Nettles back. Not really a base stealer, but they want to keep him close in case there's a double here. Oscar Gamble bats from the left side. Hit a 3-run homer back in the 6th inning. That's the inning the Yankees scored 4 runs in. They had a fairly comfortable lead at that point. They were winning, let's see, at that point they had come back and they were winning 4-2, I believe. Yeah, they were winning 4-2 at that point. And then they scored 2 more, and I think they were winning 6-3 by the 8th inning. But the Red Sox came back with 3 in the bottom of the 8th to tie it up at 6, and here we are in the never-ending game. So Oscar Gamble against Dick Pole. That's a 24. It will hit by pitch 1-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Runner will move up into scoring position. There's only one play, and that's the first. So here's Willie Randolph. And Willie Randolph has 4 hits, so they're going to walk Willie Randolph here, intentionally walk him. And we're going to pitch to Fred Stanley. Fred Stanley came in and replaced Jim Mason after Lou Piniella pinch hit in the 10th inning. So here's Stanley. With a runner in scoring position, 2 outs. 2 on. Here's a pitch from Pole. And that's a 61, which will be a ball hit right back to the mound. Pole feels it over to first, and that retires the side. So we got no runs, 1 hit, 2 left, and we move to the bottom of the 12th inning. It's going to be Evans, Petrucelli, and Burlson against Dave Pagan, who can go 15. I don't know how. Let's check. Let me check and see how many he's gone so far. Pagan has 15 batters faced. Let me see who we got to. Could bring Tidrow in for an inning. All right, we'll see what happens. Here's Pagan to Dewey Evans. That's a 62, and that'll be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes, 1 away. Next up is Rico Petrucelli, who had that big 3-run homer to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th. He's up now. And that's going to be a 13, which will be a fly ball center field. Mickey Rivers drifts over under it, squeezes it for the out, 2-way. And up comes Rick Burlson. Burlson today has a single, sacrifice fly, single, and a K. And he's going to bounce out to the shortstop. Stanley throws him out, and that retires the side. And that was 12, so we're going to write that in. Do the same here. And we go to the 13th inning now. Yikes. Top of the 13th. Pole, how many has Pole pitched to so far? Pole's gone, Oh, he's only faced 10 batters. All right, so he's good. And it's the top of the order. Mickey Rivers. This is where the Yanks can do something. It's going to be a check swing, little blooper, and that's going to drop in for a base hit for Mickey Rivers. So he's going to be on first. And Roy White, who is a good bunter, is going to square away. Here's the pitch from Pole. That's a good bunt. So it's going to go 1, 2, actually, 1, 2, 4. And going to second into scoring position is Mickey Rivers. And here comes Thurman Munson. They're going to walk Munson. That's a no-brainer. Setting up for the double play. Maybe he'll get it. And they're going to face... hold on a second. Hold on. I got an issue here. All right. White... I got Rivers leading off. There he is. Rivers leads off with a single. Then White with a sack. And then Munson is intentionally walked. And here comes Chambliss, left-handed hitter. Let me look into the bullpen. Not too much going on. Everybody seems to be red. All right, so here's the pitch to Chambliss, and that is going to be a 44. That's ripped for a base hit single to right center field. Dwight Evans and Lynn come together, and an F&A will score, and he will come around to score. So Mickey Rivers scores. The Yankees have taken a 7-6 lead. And going to third will be F to third, and that Munson will go to third. So big, huge RBI single for clutch Chris Chambliss. And runners on first and third now. And here's Carlos May. They're going to bring the infield in. And that's going to be a 35, and a 35 is going to be lined base hit center field. And it's left center field, and the left fielder, Rick Miller, is going to get in front of that. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3 with 1 out. There's going to be an assist play on Rick Miller on the runner going to third, and Rick Miller throw is on the money, and they throw out Chambliss. Munson scores. Chambliss is thrown out 7-5. And so it's an RBI single. He drives in number 3. And there's 2 outs now. And it's going to be Greg Nettles now. So the Yanks have scored 2 runs, and they lead at 8-6. They got 19 hits. This game has seen 32 hits, 14 runs, and 1 error. Here's a pitch to Greg Nettles from Dick Pole, and that's a 22, which will be ball 4. And that's going to load the bases. So Pole loses Nettles, and here's Oscar Gamble. Oscar Gamble today is 1 for 6. Here's a pitch, and it's going to be a 66. That's a deep drive off the bat of Gamble to right field, and that's way back. Dewey Evans, and that's a grand slam for Gamble, his 2nd home run of the day. And he's picked up 7 RBIs today. And that's going to be 4, 5, 6, and himself 7. Wow, what a day for Oscar Gamble. Unloaded on this one and sends it into the upper deck in right field here at Fenway Park, excuse me. And that ball's gone. 2 outs, and Pole, they're hoping Pole can... They're sacrificing Pole a little bit here. Here's Randolph. And that'll be a 52 with a 13. That'll be a ground ball to short. And that will end the inning. But here in the 13th inning, wow. Yanks come up with 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And they lead it by a score of 11-6. We go to the bottom of the runs, hits, and errors. All right, it's going to be Montgomery leading it off. Let's see if we can bring in a pinch hitter for Montgomery. Yeah, we'll bring in Cecil Cooper. Pinch hit. All right, having trouble finding Cecil Cooper. There he is, got him. There's Cooper the lefty. Here's a pitch from Pagan. 52, and that'll be a 4. Ooh, this may be an error on the Yanks. Error on second base, so it's a ball that is booted by Randolph at second. So E4. Lead lead hitter is on base. Rick Miller's coming up top of the order now. And that's a 63 and a 14. Ooh. 14 is going to say if second baseman is a strong arm, he is not, so it's going to be a 4-6 fielder's choice, and that puts Miller on at first. Ground ball to second, whips it to Stanley, but there's no throw as Cooper goes in hard. So 1 out, 1 on. Next is Denny Doyle. And Doyle with a 24, and that'll be a fly ball to right. Over is Gamble near the line and makes the catch, 2 down. So the Red Sox are down to their last out here at Fenway. And it's going to be Fred Lynn. Pitch from Pagan, and that's a 64. That'll be a fly ball, right field. Both Rivers and Gamble come together. It's Gamble who calls them off, and the ball game is over. No runs, no hits. Final is 11-6. The Yanks with 11 runs, 20 hits, and 2 errors. The Red Sox with 6 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. And let's finish this out here. It'll give us all the details. 2-0 for Pagan. He wins it. And the loss goes to Dick Pole. 1 and 2. And let's see, home runs here. Petrucelli hits 1, his first. Number 1, and then it's going to be Gamble with 2. His 5th and his 6th. So that'll be his 5th there. And then his 6th of the year here. He has 7 RBIs and 2 home runs. Wow, crazy. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. It's the group for guys that really, really don't like Facebook groups. You're going to love this one. And follow along and like and subscribe. Follow along to my other replays. I got the 61 APBA using original cards. I got the 83 Seaver replay using Status Pro Baseball. I got some random Strat-O-matic games that I play, and Fall Classic. And every so often I'll do an inside pitch. And Deep Drive. I got my 71 A's. I'm waiting to get the new cards for that. As soon as he finishes that season, I'll get those new cards, and then I can continue my my replay with the updated cards. This is Tony Porter, and I'll see you guys soon.